Marquina, ready when you are.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Right now, we are just playing some elevator music while we are awaiting for everyone to join. We're so excited to talk to you about all of the different opportunities that we'll be going through today. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much. We're going to get started at exactly 6:05. So just enjoy the sooth sounds and get ready to hear all about this awesome opportunity. And I'll pass the mic to you, Ashley, if you want to say anything.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. My name is Ashley Reesley, and we'll start right at 6:05 and hop right into it. Thanks, Marquina.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. Ashley and I will be co-hosting and moderating today's webinar. So just hold tight. I'm so glad to see over 25 of you in this webinar right now already in the first 2 minutes. That's absolutely amazing. Please make sure to tell a friend to join this webinar right now. They still have a few minutes. So please tell everyone you know that this opportunity can uplift, that they should get on this call. Awesome. Alrighty, guys, just 2 more minutes and we're going to start right up. Alrighty, y'all, just 1 more minute and we are going to get started. I am so excited. I know I keep saying it, but that truly is what wraps up this awesome feeling of being able to talk to all of you about this amazing opportunity for grocery operators in the city of Atlanta. And we are getting started in less than 60 seconds. So it's so great to have all of you here. Like I said, if there are other people, other business owners that you know that you think would benefit from this information, please send them the link. There's still time. They can sign up and join on the spot. So let's please go ahead and share that link out with all your business owner friends in the city of Atlanta. And let's get everyone talking about this opportunity that we are launching. Awesome. Let's see.
It's 6:05, so we are really excited to begin. Thank you everyone for joining. My name is Ashley Reesley. I'll be co-hosting today with Marquita November. We're really excited to announce the Atlanta Commercial Property Improvement Grant. A few housekeeping notes. I will be managing the Q&A, so if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A box. If we don't answer it immediately, we do have a Q&A portion at the end. So make sure you keep your questions close because we do have time to answer them at the end. And so now we'll begin. Our mayor, Andre Dickens, has an ambitious food access goal of 85% of Atlanta residents are currently living within 1/2 a mile of fresh, affordable food by 2025. So we are excited to launch this program so that we can attribute to that goal. Our strategies to get this goal includes 4 pillars, which prioritizes disinvested neighborhoods. So our goal is to attract grocery stores, expand and improve neighborhood markets, support innovative models, and really drive policy, systems, and environmental changes. And we plan to do that with the announcement and the launch of this grant process. So I'll go to the next slide. So Markina, myself, and Ashley Rivera will be your point of contact for this grant opportunity. Myself, I am the Wells Fargo Business Program Manager, and I'm acting as the lead for the grant opportunity.
Ashley, I believe your sound is going out.
Oh no, can you all hear me?
It's getting better now.
Thanks for letting me know. Is this any better?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know what you guys heard or didn't hear, but I'll start again. So, our mayor has an ambitious food access goal of all citizens in Atlanta to be living within a half a mile of fresh food access by 2025. So, this grant is a part of that opportunity. We're really looking forward to all of your questions, comments, and concerns about eligibility. So, myself, I'm actually my manager for open business, and Martina is the program coordinator for
It went out again.
you can introduce yourself and I'll pause and do some maintenance.
Okay. Okay. So yes, you all, I am Markina Novembre. I oversee our commercial property improvement grant here at Invest Atlanta. And I'm going to do a sound check just to make sure you guys can hear me as well. Michelle, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So yes, you all, I do have the complete pleasure and honor of overseeing this commercial property improvement grant, which is of course a direct program of the Wells Fargo Open for Business Fund. And today, as Ashley has beautifully said, we are going to be talking to you all about a grocery opportunity. And our other team member, Ashley Rivera, we have two great Ashleys on our team, and Ashley Rivera will be someone that if you all become applicants and recipients and different things of that nature, that is someone that you will be getting a lot of communication from as well. So that is our team. Yes. So today for this webinar, we're going to be going through a program overview. We're going to be going through grant eligibility requirements, selection criteria, application process, and checklist, in addition to additional requirements and expectations, along with, we're going to end it off with a strong question and answer. Okay, so like Ashley said, if you do have any questions, please do drop it in the box, and we are going to make sure to get to all of those at the end of the webinar. Okay. Awesome. So as a part of the Atlanta Open for Business Fund supported by Wells Fargo, of course, this commercial property improvement program was launched to be able to support local small businesses located in the city of Atlanta. For business owners that are eligible to apply for this reimbursement grant of up to $50,000 that can be used on both internal and external improvements to their commercial properties. Okay, and so any business that is in the city of Atlanta, whether you lease or own your property, your commercial property, you are able to be eligible to apply for this program. Now, of course, with this grocery operator side, you will need to be a grocery operator to be eligible for this specific new opportunity within this program. Okay. Yes. So next we are going to be talking about the opportunity overview, okay? We are offering you all grants of up to $50,000 open to small grocery business owners located exclusively within the city of Atlanta, physical improvements to small commercial properties. Grant recipients will need to provide 10% in matching funds. So if you are funded up to $50,000, you will have to spend no more than $5,000 on your project as well. Okay. So applications will be opening tomorrow, July 26th, and they will be closing on Monday, August 26th. Yes. So eligible applicants. Okay. I know you all are wondering who is eligible for this program. What do we need to do? How do we need to apply? So not only can you find this information here on this webinar, but on our Invest Atlanta website, this information is listed as well. Okay. So eligible applicants, local small business owners with an active City of Atlanta business license, commercial property located within the City of Atlanta that is 15,000 square feet or smaller in building size, property zoned for commercial use, businesses who own or lease are applicable, minimum 1 year remaining on lease agreement, property owner approval for scope of work. In addition to that, you must be a current grocery operator, okay? So as far as selection criteria and priorities, so small businesses in areas identified as disinvested by the One Atlanta Economic Mobility Strategy, which is pictured to the right for you all to take a look. Those are the businesses that we focus on. So minority-owned businesses, commercial properties in need of investment, impact to business operations, project readiness, scope of work with detailed construction estimates, okay? In addition to that, a few of the other things that we look at is this property located within or in close proximity to a USDA LILA consensus, a USDA LILA census tract, okay? How will this grant enable this business to offer more fresh foods? How will this opportunity allow your business to be able to offer more fresh food access to the City of Atlanta? How will providing this grant mitigate risk with this business would face due to changes in its operations? Okay. Is the proposed project and forecasted outcome realistic? So all of those things are things that we're looking at when we're looking through your application, throughout your preliminary questionnaire, and throughout your full application as well. Awesome. So now, application process, okay? One of the best things to do right now is go ahead to our website, as mentioned before, www.investatlanta.com/CPIG, create an account with Neighborly. And this is what you're going to do when these applications open up tomorrow, okay? You're going to submit a preliminary questionnaire via Neighborly. You are also going to go ahead and make sure that all of that information is inputted. Once you go ahead and submit that, your preliminary questionnaire will be reviewed by Invest Atlanta staff. And if you are eligible to move forward, the full application will be open for you, okay? So once the application is completed, it will be reviewed by Invest Atlanta team. If chosen to move forward, we would then schedule a site visit with you, and then we would present your business to our selection committee that makes the decision of whether or not you will be receiving the grant, okay? Next, our I'm so sorry. So after the selection committee, we would notify grantees within 24 to 48 hours. If you are approved, you will need to submit all of the required documentation needed to process and execute your grant agreement, okay? So that's just a bit of an overview of exactly what this application process will look like for you, leading from the creation of the Neighborly account, which the application is housed in, going all the way down into after you're approved, okay? We can go on to the next slide now. Thank you. So as far as timeline, now from July 26th to August 26th, the application period is open. We will be we will be accepting applications on a rolling basis from July 26th to August 26th. And so if your preliminary questionnaire is approved, we will extend an invitation to you to be able to complete the full application, okay? By August 26th, if preliminary questionnaire is approved, this is the last day to submit the full application, okay? This is very, very important. So during this July 26th to August 26th, if you are going to be applying, it's very, very important that you make sure to stay as closely attached to your email as possible so that you can know when you've been moved forward and if you've been moved forward. Okay. So September 15th, we will be sending out a selection notice to successful applicants. Okay. Now, September 30th, if selected, all due diligence to complete a grant agreement is due by September 30th. Applicants who cannot meet this deadline will forfeit their grant award. Okay. So once a grant agreement is signed by Invest Atlanta and a grant recipient, funds will be available on a reimbursement basis. We hold weekly webinars to help grantees gather and submit the draw requests that would be required in order to access your funding, okay? For those selected, all grant funds must be expended no later than December 31st, 2024, okay? And we can go on to the next slide. So as far as application checklist, okay, one of the main things that you want to make sure that you complete is your screenshot of maps showing the location of the commercial property, copy of your City of Atlanta business license, current photos of your commercial property clearly displaying a need for those proposed improvements, copy of deed or lease to demonstrate property control. In addition to that, you would be needing to provide a notarized application affidavit with your property owner, okay? You will also need to provide a detailed scope of work and budget with work estimates or quotes to document budget line items, okay? And we can go on to the next slide. Thank you. So additional requirements and expectations is you are going to be needing to submit due diligence. And when you submit your due diligence, we will then package that up, send that to the legal team for them to officially execute the grant agreement, okay? Owner approval, zoning, and permitting requirements are required, okay? Timeline expectations. Once your grant is signed, you do have until December 31st to complete your project, okay? Funds issued as work is completed and verified by Invest Atlanta. So what that specifically means is that once you submit your draw request, that is only to be submitted once work is done. If there are any funds that need to be mobilized before work is done, we can only direct pay suppliers for supplies that would be needed, but any other funds that would be required with this project would have to be requested to us after work is complete and we have all of the required documentation, okay? So a couple other things to look forward to would also be periodic reporting requirements and also a community impact contribution requirement for all awardees, okay? And just a little bit about our community impact contribution is basically a pay it forward. So just like you're getting this amazing opportunity from the city, we would love to see each and every single one of you have an initiative that you do to give back to the city as well by giving back to the community of people that are around your business. And we can go to the next slide. Awesome. So again, that is all of our contact information. You can screenshot this. You can contact us at any time. Of course, remember to please go to the website, www.investatlanta.com/CPIG. If you're not already following Invest Atlanta on Instagram, please make sure that you do that as well. Thank you guys so much. So now that we've completed this portion of the presentation, we will now move on into question and answer.
Hey everyone, now that we're opening up the floor for question and answer, feel free to post your questions into the chat box and we'll answer them live.
Yes.
Markina, we have a question asking, are businesses eligible if they have received grants in the past?
So yes, and I see that that is the owner of Spotted Trotter, Miss Megan. How are you? Beautiful business. They have spent all of their funding. Amazing. I'm so proud of you guys over there. Now with this specific grant, depending on exactly which funding you've received, but of course we have grocery operators that were able to get our first round of commercial property improvement grant funding. And if this funding would be able to give them even more access to be able to provide fresh food to even more of the community, then that is absolutely something that we would be willing to consider. And just because you've already received a grant from us, that would not knock you out from the running. No.
Thank you, Markina. We do have a point of clarity question. One question is asking about, I think you said we had 1 year to complete the work, but the slide said funds must be expended by December 31st. Can you clarify?
Yes. So the funds do need to be expended by December 31st, 2024, only because this is direct funding from the Wells Fargo Open for Business program. And so there is a timeline within. We do need to make sure that all of these funds are spent. And also, I know our program manager, Ashley, I'm sure, can touch on that as well. Ashley, would you like to touch on that too?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Meredith. I'm Ashley again. So you do have up until December 31st to expend the funds. That means you have accepted the grant agreement and you understand what we understand what your plans are. From that point, we may be willing to extend for based on your plans, how long it should take to complete your project. So if you have any further questions about that, we'll be happy to answer your question via email or phone call. Cynthia has a question asking, can you give a sense of the total number of awards you anticipate making or the total dollar amount you expect to distribute? The total dollar amount for this grant is $750,000. And with the $750,000 award, each grantee is awarded $50,000. So that is a total of about 13 to 15 awards. Okay, Markina, we have another question. Rhonda asks, is there a time frame on how long the businesses have been open?
So definitely. I believe that, well, all of the qualifications are also listed on the website as well. But yes, there is a specific time frame that is listed on there. And well, the biggest thing would be exactly how long your actual property has been open. And so once you go into all of that, you would be able to see exactly what's needed there.
Thanks, Markina.
Yes.
Next question. Does the grant apply to electrical wiring for installations of coolers we've already purchased?
Hi, Matt. So definitely, of course, depending on your scope of work and after a full analysis of all the different things that you would be presenting, we'd be able to have more of a direct answer. But definitely, as far as things like electrical wiring, anything that is dealing with improvements to your physical property is absolutely within the realm of what we're able to fund with this program.
Thanks, Markina. Next question. What are the top factors that go into selecting a grocer? Does the location carry more weight in the decision process?
Well, honestly, I will say that we absolutely we analyze the need first. And so, of course, as far as it being a disinvested area, that's definitely something that we prioritize first. I misspoke on that. But as far as once we see the area, we do take into consideration the totality of the application. And so, of course, not only are we looking for businesses in disinvested areas, but we are also looking for minority owned businesses. And of course, with this very specific need that we have to be able to give fresh food grocers this opportunity, that is the main factor that we're looking at, in addition to location, in addition to owner status, in addition to the needs that would have to be met in order for you all to be able to provide more access within the community. And I believe I met you at one of our events. So I'm looking very forward to seeing your application.
Thank you, Marquina.
Yeah.
We also have one clarifying question. To be clear, businesses have to spend $50,000 of their own funds, and once Invest Atlanta approves the work, then you will be reimbursed. Can you please clarify?
Yeah, so no, that is not exactly how we would be doing that there. So, of course, and that is, I'm sorry, I didn't see the name of who asked that question. I was just going to say the name. But so basically, how this reimbursement grant works is that there are 2 or 3 options that you have when it comes to these funds being released. Now, a business owner can choose to front the funds and then be reimbursed, but there is another option to where we can direct pay contractors once work is done. Now, there is about a net 30 when it comes to that. It can the payment can be deployed before then, but it does go up to net 30 when it comes to any of the payments that we deploy from the company. But there is an option that once work is completed, we can direct pay the contractor. Once work is completed, we can directly reimburse the business owner. And in addition to that, before work is complete, if the business owner does not have enough money to mobilize a deposit, what we're able to do is then, if they do have a supplier that is willing, we are able to then go in and have our recipient contact their supplier, get all of the required documentation that we need, and we pay for all of the supplies needed for the project so that that's easier on the business owner as well. And that is helpful because when contractors require a deposit, most of the deposit is so that they can be able to purchase the supplies. So that's why we have the option where we can direct pay the supplier, because per the terms of the grant agreement, we cannot direct pay anyone until work is done besides the supplier.
Thanks, Marquina. You also had some hellos in our
Awesome.
Q&A. So the
Hello.
next question comes from Marquise. Sorry if I said your name wrong. The question is, can we use this to start a farm-style grocery store?
So this would be for people who are currently grocery operators, from my understanding of this opportunity. I would say if you already do, because you would need to already have a commercial property, you would need to already have a lease. And those different things to be able to move forward in the application. So I would say that this opportunity, the best thing for you would be to visit the website and look at all of the qualifications. Now, if that's something that you already have, is in the lease, the property, your business model, and you're already operating, then that is a conversation that can be had.
Thanks, Martina. And then we have a question from Addie. Addie is asking, we are a daycare. Would this apply to us?
Hi, Addie. So unfortunately, this specific grant opportunity for grocery operators would not apply to you. But in the future, please do make sure to look out on the Invest Atlanta website, in addition to keep very, very closely posted to the Instagram and see exactly what other opportunities there are for you, okay?
Thanks, Martina. Next question from Rahala. I'm probably saying that name so wrong. I'm sorry. The question is, for the 10% we have to match, can it be applied retroactively for owners who've made some recent improvements? So I'll ask one more time. For the 10% we have to match, can it be applied retroactively for owners who have made some recent improvements?
Technically, as far as my understanding of the program, it would all need to be made after it's signed, but it really just all depends on exactly what you have already spent money on and different things like that. But those are things that we would be able to possibly take into consideration. And it's really on a case by case basis. But of course, you know, just like we've had instances where with the 5,000, people would of course buy the necessary supplies that they would need in addition to the work that's going on. Say for instance, for a laundromat, we had we have a recipient that went ahead and bought all of her dryers from eBay, which was really great that we got to deduct from her match because that was, of course, her putting her funds towards the project. And so, with that being said, once you would apply and we would get deeper into your case, that is something that we would just have to discuss and look over to see exactly what would be in the parameters of what's allowed. So I see we have a question about
Can
can
you
this fund be? Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay. So the next question, sorry, is can this fund awarded to C-Store with gas station to improve their inside, like upgrading equipment?
So now this specific opportunity is just for grocery operators. Now, in any chance that we do have other funding or other programs that become available, then that is something that you would be able to look into. But for right now, this is something specifically for grocery operators.
He says, thanks. The next question we have is we operate a grocery in Tennessee and are expanding to Atlanta, currently in lease negotiation. Are we ineligible because our first store is out of state?
So I see here, hi Rhonda. I see you operate a grocery store in Tennessee, expanding to Atlanta, currently in lease negotiations. Now, that is one I would recommend you make sure to look at the qualifications very closely because I know that in order for you to be able to apply for this funding, you would need to have a lease in Atlanta. You would need to have property control over a commercial property specifically in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, if that's something that you're currently in negotiations with, then I believe that that would make you ineligible. But if any case, you know, if you end up confirming your lease agreement tomorrow, and depending on what your business model structure, setup, start date is, that may be a conversation. So it all just depends on where you are with your process. So I would suggest closely looking over the requirements and analyzing that with exactly where you are at in your business right now in your pursuit to open your location in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay.
Yes, so when you get your lease, hopefully before August 26th, let us know. We're happy to assist.
Yes. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? Keep them coming. I love the questions. You guys are asking really, really great questions. And that's what we're here for, is to meet your needs and to answer the questions that you have for this program. And we really are very excited about receiving applications from you all. Awesome. Okay. 6:38. Keep it coming, guys. Keep the questions coming, please.
Um,
Yes, I see we have Wadada in the building as well, another one of our recipients. Everyone, please make sure to go support her store. Please, amazing store. I get awesome products from there, amazing sea moss, all of the good vegan patties, vegan ice cream. Oh my gosh, so delicious. The best smoothies, sea moss smoothies. Oh my God, they're so good. So please make sure that you guys go support. I see we have, of course, Spotted Trotter in the building. So please make sure that you guys go there to get all the fresh meats. They have a beautiful location. Please make sure that you guys too.
Marquina,
Yes.
Jeanette from Wadada would like to know, can this grant be used for purchasing grocery store equipment like freezers, coolers, etc.?
Yes, absolutely. If that is something that is needed for your business, that is absolutely something that we will be able to purchase. But it would just all depend on it's on a very case by case basis because it just all depends on the need and exactly what the priority or what number is it on your priority list to be able to complete the work that is needed for you to offer more access for fresh food. So definitely, that is something that, of course, we do. Um, that is something that we do make sure that we go over.
Thank you. The next question we have is, so you pay 10% to match and then you will receive the full 50,000?
No. So how that would work is this is a reimbursement grant. And so, because this is a reimbursement grant, we do not expend any funds until work is done. And so, for example, if you were to submit a $10,000, or I'll just start from the beginning. Say that you go through the preliminary questionnaire process and you're now able to be invited to complete the full application. You complete that full application. I come to your business and do an awesome site visit, get amazing content of your business, and then I present your business to our a wonderful selection committee and say that you're approved. We would then send out our pre-inspection team that would come and do another visit with your business, but they would take all the different photos and have the architect out there, and all that good stuff, right? And then from there, you would be in the due diligence portion where you would be submitting all your required documentation. And while you, or as you submit that, you will then receive your grant agreement, sign it, and now the portal will be open on Neighborly for you to submit draw requests. Okay. So now once your portal is now open, you will then be able to submit requests for reimbursement. Now, if we need to mobilize a payment for you because you need supplies paid for by a specific supplier, or if you went to Home Depot and bought the supplies yourself and you need a reimbursement, we can do that. But as far as payouts for work being done, once work is completed and we have all proof, that is when we reimburse based on um, what is um, what is submitted. And in addition to that, this grant is up to 50,000. So if you submit a scope of work that is $28,212, that's what your grant amount is going to be. I hope that
Thank
helps to answer. Oh, I'm sorry. The last part of that example is that, say, for instance, that you were to submit a $10,000 draw request, you would submit that with all the required documentation, and we would automatically deduct your match. And so, if you were to submit a $10,000 draw request for us today and you hadn't spent any of your money towards your match, your reimbursement from us would be $9,090.91. And so that match would automatically be deducted from that payment request. Now, if you're the type that said, hey, Marquina, we went ahead, there are recipients that their roof cost 50,000. As soon as they were approved for the grant, they got their work done. They submitted a request for 50,000, and what we pay out is $45,454.55. Okay, that's just an example of how that works.
Thanks, Marquina. So we do have one question from Chloe Floyd. Chloe is asking, does the grant cover replacing of parking area that directly affects insurance policy coverage? So one more time, the question is, does the grant cover replacing of parking areas that directly affects insurance policy coverage?
Well, I will say that as far as parking lots, depending on the total scope of work, is what will determine exactly if we're able to fund anything in the parking lot. Because with this specific program and funding, we do try to make sure that we are funding things that are, directly impacting your building. But as far as the parking lot, depending on exactly what would be needed as far as your totality of your scope of work, that would just be reviewed when all your information is submitted. So I can't answer that question specifically now without knowing anything else about your case. But in addition to that, once you go ahead and submit everything, if you do plan on applying, we would speak with you further on that from there. Okay.
Thanks, Marquina. We also have a question. Oh, sorry. Is grocery operator defined a defined term anywhere? I think it is listed on our application and in the presentation we send. What do you think, Marquina?
Yes, absolutely. So definitely, and as when we say grocery operator as well, we are specifically speaking to businesses that are offering fresh food access to the community, but also, of course, we are specifically speaking to businesses that are fresh grocers. And so, with that being said, if you do have any questions about your status, even after going through the requirements, please feel free to send us an email, and we have no problem, speaking with you one on one about, if you exactly fit that requirement or not.
Thanks, Marquina. We have one follow-up question. To be clear, construction is done in phases, so the business owner spends as they go and reimburse as they go. Is that accurate?
There are, I would say, it's a yes and no, because remember, there is multiple options, and so payment can either be directly reimbursed to you, or payment can either be sent directly to the contractor. So if payment is being sent directly to the contractor, then of course that is not something that you would have to put up funds for. Now there are situations where you meet a contractor and he's like, okay, I'll work with you, and you may have a 5,000 or 20,000 or $50,000 job that you cannot afford to front, and that's okay, because we all understand the reality of that. So say for instance that you find a contractor that is willing to wait up to 30 days after work is done to get paid. Once you would go ahead and find that contractor, if that contractor then said, hey, I actually, I would be able to do that for you, but I will need you to go ahead and pay an $1,000 deposit, right? So if you had to pay that $1,000 deposit, when that work is complete, you can go ahead and submit one draw request for the contractor to be paid, but you can also submit another draw request for your deposit to be reimbursed to you as well. Okay.
Thanks, Marquina. So we don't have any questions at this time, but if you want to talk a little bit more about the process and what you can draw down, that could work too.
Yes. So you said you wanted me to just touch on exactly how they would be drawing down funds?
Yes, please.
Yes. So, just as we touched on earlier, this is a reimbursement grant. And so there is required documentation that would be needed with all of the draw requests. With your grant agreement that you will be executing, there will be a form of requisition that is found in your grant agreement. There will also be a ACH form that is found in your grant agreement. I believe pages 9 and 10 of your grant agreement will have those pre-written templates for you, and those two documents will be required with every single draw request. So you want to make sure that you, when you get to that point, if of course selected as a recipient of this grant and you sign, you would be submitting your form of requisition, your ACH form, each and every single payment request that we receive, we need a W-9 for. We cannot pay anyone without receiving a W-9. Okay. In addition to that, we also would be needing your detailed itemized invoice for every single opportunity that we have. I mean, for every single payment request that we receive, we need a detailed itemized invoice. It cannot be a quote. It cannot be an estimate. It would need to be a detailed itemized invoice. If we're direct paying a contractor, once work is complete, that balance due should be in full of what we're paying out. Now, if we are directly reimbursing you, that invoice should have a zero balance because that would show receipts. And if we're directly reimbursing you for payment that's already been made, we will need to see proof of transaction, and we will also need to see a screenshot from your bank statement or your credit statement that the funds directly came from your account. And with all of that information, you, for every draw request, you will also be submitting photos that the work was done. Okay. So those are the things that would be required. Now, of course, there will be many different forms of outreach that, that especially myself will utilize to be able to help you all through this process. I do have a webinar that is open that I will invite you all to if anyone has issues in any part of the application process. We do have an open webinar every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. I will send that link for you all. And it will always be the same link. So I will go ahead and send that date and that time for you. That'll be every week. That'll be open for you all to join. If you ever have any questions, think of it like office hours. You also have our contact information. You can let us know. And once you become a recipient, those office hours stay open on a weekly basis. And we, of course, do love to put together events for our recipients to be able to get to know each other, share resources with one another, and also be able to connect so that you guys can continue to unite and build so that we can just continue to make our communities greater and greater. So that is just a little more on the drawdown process when it comes to actually receiving your funds. Okay.
Thanks, Marquina. So we have a question from Cynthia. Cynthia wants to know, what documentation do you need to demonstrate our matching funds?
As far as if you choose to, if you have, so I would say that if there are purchases that you have made that you would like to be included in your match contribution, that's a conversation that you would just make sure to bring up to us, once you're approved. And then that is, of course, we would require documentation and we would have to get the item approved, different things like that. And so, with that being said, once you go ahead and get that, then we would be able to review that because that is a case by case basis. But what you sign to in the grant agreement is that the funds are automatically deducted from the match. And so if you were to submit a $10,000 payment right now to be directly paid to your contractor, remember $9,090.91 of that would be paid directly to your contractor, and then you would be responsible for the rest. Now, if you did get your items approved that you paid for and your match was met with the items that you already paid for, then we would go ahead and just pay that contractor the full 10,000.
Thanks, Marquina. Just so everyone's aware, for our time check, we do have about 10 minutes left, so make sure to get all of your questions in. Next question is from Joel. Joel wants to know, do you need tax returns for new businesses or existing?
So, as far as taxes are concerned for this specific opportunity, the main thing and only thing that I'm well aware of that we require with taxes is that we do require documentation that your tax returns are, I'm sorry, we do require documentation that your current property owner is up to date on their taxes for the building.
Okay, so in our last 10 minutes, is there anything that our interested applicants should know regarding their application, regarding reimbursement? Is there anything they shouldn't do?
One of the main things is that this is not a cash type of grant. And so please make sure to keep that in mind as far as we do not make any direct deposits before any work is done. And this is also not an opportunity that you can use cash for when you do. And so say, for instance, that you pay with cash, that is highly not recommended. So please make sure to not do that. Okay. And in addition to that, the only thing that I would make sure to urge you all to do is to know that we're here to support you. We're here to help guide you through this process. So please make sure that you use the resources that you have right now, as far as that investatlanta.com/CPIG, so that you're able to see all of your requirements, all of the qualifications, selection criteria, so on and so forth. And now, once you are able to completely process that information, go ahead and submit that preliminary questionnaire and we will get back to you, okay? Hi, Ismail. I see, and I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. So yes, this specifically is for improvements made to commercial property. Now, depending on exactly what your business is and what the needs are, that is basically what would depend on what would be able to be funded as far as equipment.
The questions are slowing down. So just as a reminder, tomorrow the application does go live at 9 a.m. So we really look forward to your applications. Markina, myself, and Ashley are happy to assist you. Our email address is listed on the presentation. We will be sending out the presentation as well as the live recording for any additional questions. Markina, anything else?
I don't have anything additional right now other than I cannot wait to see your applications. Please do utilize us as resources and contact us if you need anything as far as more information or anything. And please do, of course, take advantage of all of the requirements listed on the website. And of course, please do make sure that you're following us on social media as well. And the best thing to do is to make sure that you are signed up for our newsletter.
Perfect. So it's 6:53, so we have room for about a few more questions that come in. The one question Musa is asking is, can a project exceed grant award if operator or owner is covering balance? So the question is, can a project exceed grant award if operator or owner is covering balance?
Yes, absolutely. That is no problem.
For possible equipment funding, is it grocery equipment, produce coolers, etc., that will be considered?
Yes, as far as equipment, um, yes, those different things. So, of course, if there is a grocery operator who has all of the space and they may say, hey, Markina, with our match funding that we have to put towards, can we purchase a cooler? Absolutely, because that would be needed for their business. And so, with that being said, just as I mentioned before, that is on a case by case basis. And so once you would apply for the funding and get further in the process, we would speak with you about those specific needs. Thank you guys so much for these awesome questions. It's amazing. Any other questions? Let's get to 50. I see we've had 47 so far. Let's get to 50 questions. Who got a few more questions for us? Ask us anything. Awesome. We just need one more question to get to 50. One more question.
So the question is, does this work in conjunction with the Grocery Technical Operators Program? So I think this is asking about the IGA technical assistance provider.
Yeah, do you want to touch on that, Ashley?
Absolutely. So a part of this program or a part of the grant opportunity is you'll be matched with a technical assistance provider. So International Grocers Association will work directly with the grocery operators, and they will assist with anything you need grocery related. So marketing, scaling, forecasting, helping with procedural things as far as cooling, making sure that you're up to code. They will help you and assist with that, and it is an automatic enrollment with your application. So once you apply, IGA will reach out to you. And if you need assistance with applying, IGA will also reach out to you to help you apply, in addition to myself, Ashley, and Marquina for any questions you
Yes.
have. Marquina, we have a question. What's the average turnaround on reimbursement?
Yes. So as far as that is the net 30 that we have been going over. So basically, once you would submit that payment request, once all required documentation is received and processed, it does take up to 30 days for payments to be deployed. Okay. So once it's processed, once it is received, and once all of your required documentation is included, then of course from there, now we've seen payments go out in as less as 8 to 14 days, but we have, of course, seen payment timelines go up to the full 30 days. So that is something that we do. But remember, it's not 30 days from once work is done, it's 30 days from when all of your required documentation is submitted. Okay. Now, what's the status? Oh, I'm sorry. I just went to the other question.
No, no, it's okay. That was a two-part question. So the second part of the question asks, if a task that requires stages such as electrical, could you requisition the portion completed, or will we need to wait until all aspects are done?
Yeah, you can submit draw request as work is complete. Now, if you were to submit photo documentation and it's said to and it reflects a job that is not done, then that is a different conversation. But as long as the proof that you can submit shows that work has been done, then that is something, of course, that you would be able to do. Mm-hmm. All righty, guys. Thank you so much. We got 51 questions for today. That's amazing. I'm so glad that we were able to answer these questions and provide you all clarity. There's so many steps to this program. So that's why we do have those open opportunities for the webinars every week. You can send us an email. You can do whatever it is that you need to contact us so that we are able to get you what you need. So you all are so welcome for this. And thank you. Thank you for taking times out of your super busy schedules. And we are rooting for all of you as business owners in the city of Atlanta. Anything that we can do to support you all is our top priority. You're
Well,
so
thank you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michelle, for setting up this amazing webinar. This Michelle from our marketing team. And thank you, Ashley, for co-hosting this beautifully with me.